Thank you for joining us on the program. Let's begin on the business front. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, have agreed to increase oil production by 1 million barrels per day starting from the 1st of July. Since 2016, OPEC member states and other world oil pumpers jointly cut their production by 1.2 million barrels per day to balance the oil market for 18 months.
And I have to add that due to the limited productivity of some producing countries, notably Libya and Venezuela, the decline in real production has exceeded the agreed level, bringing the price of oil to a maximum of $80 per barrel, compared to $27 at the end of 2016. American, Chinese and Indian consumers therefore urged the Vienna-based OPEC group to produce more barrels in order to prevent an oil deficit, which could harm the world economy, according to these countries. And that's the decision that was finally made last Friday.
Gaya Mohammed Laouen is the Executive Secretary of African Petroleum Producers Association, APPA. He joins us now from Athens, Greece, to weigh in on the OPEC's decision to increase oil production per day starting from July 1st. Gaya, why do you think OPEC this time took the move not to set individual country targets?
So, you know that OPEC does not immediately determine the allocation of quotas, either going up or down. But there is a pro rata percentage of production in each member country. So it should be noticed that the implementation of this decision will not be taken now and immediately. So remember that last year, in November 2017, OPEC and no-OPEC country members decided to maintain the 1.8 million barrel drop per day until March 2019. So I think that the current decision would be implemented later, probably by the first term of 2019. And I think by that time, each country should know exactly the percentage of the increasing of its production.
Gaya, the decision made at Friday's meeting in Vienna confused some in the market as OPEC gave opaque targets for the increase. It even made it difficult to understand how much more it will pump. Also, oil prices rose as much as 3%. Will we see an increase in the price of oil due to the new decision by OPEC, Gaya?
Okay, so you know that the oil price is very, very, very volatile and unpredictable. The decision of OPEC and no-OPEC members was taken to lower the price of a barrel right now. It has reached, the last week, it has reached $80 some days ago. And recently, it is about $75 per barrel. But we found that this decision didn't react at all. The price of a barrel is still around $75, as it has been since mid-June 2018. So the decision taken by OPEC and no-OPEC country members didn't affect the market, the oil market. So we should not expect a significant rise of the price of crude oil in the short or medium term. But I think that by the end of 2018 and maybe the first term of 2019, the price of oil will be around $70 to $75 a barrel.
Let us look at Africa. What effect will this new OPEC decision have on African oil-producing nations?
So the economy of African petroleum producers country depend on the price of petroleum. And you know that the price of all commodities have always been volatile. These prices respond to the interests not of producing countries, but of multinationals. So if the prices are increasing or decreasing, it's not directly in the interest of African producers. I think that African countries producing raw materials, and especially oil, must take arrangements to deal with that I can call a diktat of international capital. So we need what we need. We need to diversify our economies and not really solely on oil revenue, and also integrate our economies by creating an African oil market and strengthen the activities of our organization, the African Petroleum Producers Organization. As long as we do not believe in our own strength, I think that we could not succeed. It is not a question of regrouping in an organization for common interests. I think that now we have to sit down, all African countries. So we are under reform of African Petroleum Producers Organization. And I think this organization, if we have a political support, it can play a key role in African economy. And I think that we have to go there. And as I said, the most important for us is the diversification of our economies and the strength of the integration of African petroleum, African economies toward petroleum and energy in general.
And just before we let you go, as an organization, what has the African Petroleum Producers Association, that's your association, done to ensure that African oil-producing nations diversify their economy?
And I think it is very important. And then it is a way for us to integrate our economies, to make the oil price, the oil sector, the factor of promotion of the economy of our countries. And the most important for us, I think, that is the creation of a physical petroleum market. And from this physical petroleum market, we can move toward financial petroleum market. If you see, the conventional petroleum reserves are about to finish in America. And if you take the Arab countries, the reserve of the oil in these countries is reducing. But if you take African countries, by 1960s, only 4 African countries are under petroleum production. Currently, we have 20 African countries which are under production, and 30 others are under research and exploration. And we think that the future of oil in the world would be in Africa, would be played in Africa. And I think it is high time for us to take all steps to play this key role, but that key role we have to play should be in the interest of Africans, not for multinationals. And I think it is very, very important.